Chamgei chitab Kalenjin amang'ung'ui tugul ole imite koibaibai ak ikere ketesiet nebo Kass TV itagat eng tetutietab Kass Mashinani kigurena Jacqueline Arusei. Eng Kass Mashinani kebun logoiwek chetesetai eng emet ibwat ile mitei sirikchok chebo logoiwek eng counties cheterter kotesetai kosubi logoiwek ako notok kebendi keibun tugul kou oleu kong'ete studio. Kitaune county notok bo Kericho ole kakomong'e kokwetab boisiek nebo Kipsigis Community Clans Association akomach kalitetetab namunetab rabisiek cheite billion agenge chekinyor serikalitab county nebo Bomet ak Kericho kobun kampunitab Lipton eng shares chebo walet eng namunetab mbarenikab multinationals eng counties ichotok tuwai. Kosubkei ak Kipsigis Community Clans komagat keboisie katweetabkei nebo Kipsigis Trust eng teleljinetab rabisiek chotok. Kinyoru report kobun Robert Sele.
Kong'ololjin ketishani en oret ne inegen komwa kokwetab boisiek nebo Kipsigis Community Clans Association kondochin sirindetab kibagengeit Joel Kimeta kole magat keboisien katuiyetabkei anan trust nebo Kipsigis en boisietab rabisiek cheite bilionit agenge chekinyor counties chebo Kericho ak Bomet kobun multinationals en shares chebo waletab namunetab mbarenik choton.
Kokakimwa Kipsigis en betutab raini kele kingomondo Lipton Teas and Infusion kokon rabinik kokoi Kipsigis 1 billion Kenya shillings. Ko rabinik choto ko kikami biik chekimoe kowis kole kikoi sako agenge anan ko koborit keesye. Kowis kora kole moe kikoi Kericho county ak Bomet county keesye. Kakeng'ololji biik chekimi bitonin kokon any biik chekibore Human Impact Pathway chekinyokokose kole rabinik chu kotokindo ano. Ko kimoe koto bichuto trust nemoe kinde rabinik chebo Kipsigis. Ko katil tuiyetab raini kole acha echek Kipsigis ketinye trust nenyon.
Amun miten kou trust nekikechob ko Kipsigisiek. Mi trust nebo Kipsigis Community Charitable Trust. Trust noton konyolu kotoret Kipsigisiek amun nyolu tuguk chemi kapchainyun kinde cheb Lipton 1 billion. Konyolu komi legut nebo Kipsigis nekikechob at trust nemiten asikeboisien kingen kole chito netieche kweyot nengen ele chile ko chito netieche kweyot en Kipsigis ko Kipsigisiek enyewe ko lazima kikochi amun kile Lipton rabisiek choton ko chechok bo Kipsigis mawal kutit so nyolu kobwa Kipsigis keboisien en trust nekikeformen nebo Kipsigis.
Kamwa boisiek choton chekaboto nebo ng'echeret en kokwonoton John Rob kole tindoi kamuget ak kimnotet nebo kotelelchi ole kaiyonjin ak chebo ng'echerok en Kipsigis Community Clans Association chemiten ortinwek cheite 200 en Kipsigis chemiten en kibagenge.
Tindoi Kipsigis lengut nenywan kikokile kimoe 1 billion sichoto kinde lengutab Kipsigisiek tugul. Kokatil chairman chebo Kipsigis tugul. So kandoik chemiten politics konyolu okuye ole magutikab Kipsigis ko rabinikab Kipsigis ko mabokeboisien ketegen Referral Hospital. Acha kasino kobo serikali. Makimoe kora kele ketegen barabarosiek. Ko kakirebe serikali national ak county kasinywan. Rabinik chekakile bendi community koba community trust. Ak ketindoi community trust inoto.
Ai ng'alalen ng'alekab unity en Kipsigis. Unity ko kakimwochigei kongoi amun Kipsigisiek komi kibagenge. En kiy age tugul nekiyoe keker keyoe tugul. Kemoche keimisan kele en tuguchu tugul kitesetai keyoe kemoche kimnotet amun echek kandoik chebo Kipsigis ketinye kimnotet nekiokonech chebo Kipsigisiek.
Ng'alekab kosyinet en Kipsigis ak kibagenge ko mornet neindochin Kipsigis tugul ko nekikuren Kipsigis Community Clans Organization. Koyometabgei nebo bororietab Kipsigis tugul. Mokolenjin any bororietab Kipsigis tugul ko kakile ngap mite koyomoni bogei nebo Kipsigis ko matindoi chito age chomchinet kobo kowon ng'alekab ng'ung'unyatab Kipsigis akobo ng'alek chekinyalile chumbek. Ng'alekab cooperatives anan ko self-help groups ko nyolu konai raini kole matindoi chomchinet icheket kowon historical injustices anan kanyalilet nekinyalilet chumbek. Mornet netindo kekuren Kipsigis Community Clans Organization.
Kasom icheket kandoikab polatet en counties chebo Kericho ak Bomet kotoret icheket asikosulda magutikwak ak konyor icheket imanda.
Ngebe komostab kandoik ko kandoik omiono. Kandoik chekikilewen omiono. Kong'eten inginam boisioni kikinome en 2011. Mami kandoindet ot agenge nekikonyo akopakenech. Mami kandoindet nekikonyo akoib chechit. Kandoik akuskong.
Okamwa kole kong'eten ra kokakinam banda nelel. Kong'eten raini kemoe kewolwech imandanyon nekikeseretye kiseretyo boisiekyok. Aini ko kimi kora ko kiseretosi Kipkoi ak Kipkoi. Kikeib mutworik ak en imbarenyon. Kimoche kiam ng'ung'unyandenyon. Kimoche imandanyon. Ko ki Kipsigis ko korotira konamgei eun koik agenge akomwa kole kilondoi kimoche kekonech imandanyon.
Kobo iman ako kikisibu kii ko betusiek chechang. Kemoe kemwoe kityo kandoikyok kelenji sikotoretech en bani kibendi. Ngeng'olole kabilani komi biik chetwoitwou cheyome kotwa boisiechu ako ngotwoe komokyingei kii.
Kang'ong icheket kole mawekse let kot konyor imanda ak sobet nekararan kobun mbarenikwak.
Ko Kipsigis kole bo kiwonech chumbek nenyon kole nenyon, kasara Mungu kole kosei, kaibit kole yebit, iman kole iman, bakasane kole bo
abai kole abai kole abai. Kokichor lalatet. Mie kole mie. Iut ng'otiten imut keleut, iuten ng'aimet keleut, iut keleut, kaleuten birsi keleut. King.
Kong'eten county nebo Kericho, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyun ko Robert CLA.
Kangomangei senators akoesho logoiwechotok kimwa president eng wikit nekosirtoi kole mitei alake eng senators chemoche governors kokochi icheket rabisiek asikomuch kokochi report nekararan eng senate kotinygei ak boisiet eng serikalishekab counties. Kamwa kondochin nebo ng'echeret eng committee notok nebo County Public Accounts Committee nebo Senate Moses Kajwang kole nyalu eng President William Ruto kwa eng taitab Senate asikoaror chechang kotinygei ak logoiwechotok ole kamwa kole mamite senator age tugul nekikotepsen governors kotinygei ak rabisiek chemoche kikochi asikomuch kokochi report nekararan kotinygei ak boisionik cheisulda eng counties.
Is for the speakers to convene the necessary committees and using Article 125 summon the president to come and give evidence of 150 million from Isiolo, summon the president to give evidence of 10 million on anti-money laundering bill and to give further evidence that he has. That is how the constitution that we have is drafted. And that is a challenge we are putting out to the speakers, not to protect parliament, but to ensure that for the good of the public, the very gross allegations made by the president can be investigated and the public can also get closure, because there are clear mechanisms for resolution of unethical conduct.
If speakers don't know how to do it, they can borrow a leave from Kome, Mother Kome, the head of judiciary. And I think the institution, then they have a responsibility, a duty of care to protect. Chair, this protection is important because you need to operate in an environment that you feel safe.
Correct.
It cannot be that anybody who wants to invade Parliament, they have a free day, to do what they want to do. No, the Speaker must be able to say, you know what, we draw the line in the sand. Correct. This is how far you can go. Beyond this, if you have something to say about Parliament, there are procedures to say.
So I think our message is that as Parliament, we are open to scrutiny.
Yes,
and that scrutiny
that is the point.
Must be done in accordance with the Constitution we have, not the Constitution that we wish to have. That scrutiny must be done in accordance with the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act, which has given the speakers certain powers to deal with unethical conduct. And we want to challenge all those who are making allegations, that we can even have a formal and proper inquiry. And we also want to challenge the president. If you know these people, do not be mourning and crying like every other common person. As a consumer of raw intelligence and as a person who can direct the DCI DCI to carry out investigations. Please, Kenyans want action. We have had enough talk. Let there be action on the parts of perpetrators of unethical behavior. When it comes to the institution of parliament, the speakers must stand up.
Escape this accountability session because he knew very well, Chair, that if he would have appeared before this committee, even I've looked at the responses, and I'm happy, Chair, you did direct that they were responses. I've read through the responses. He could not account for it. He could not account for it. So, Chair, I think finally on the observation that the issue of governors appearing, Chair, I take a very different approach because, you know, yesterday I was laughing in a forum where we were including, you saw me laughing in devolution, is because I know there is an Oparanya case and the courts have litigated on this matter and once and for all. Governors must and should appear before the Senate and before the Parliament. Article of the Constitution says any committee of the Parliament has the power to invite or summon any witness to assist in the investigations.
The Supreme Court was very clear, and we can even, Chair, we can even buy a full page in the newspaper and give a summary of that decision so that the message is out loud and clear. The highest court under Article 163 is the Supreme Court. There is no any other place you can go to seek a different interpretation than what the Supreme Court of Kenya has proposed.
Kango barasta bengitab Absa Bank taunetab account nenaat kou Lariba Sultana Sharia compliant account ole tapchin genota gogi meta gojer kwanyik chemite eng mungaret ngolale eng lumdae tabengi nota ko mauset no eng bengitab Absa Yusuf Omar Rigole webka ko tetap ko toy account nota geng takchinetab gojer engolo kwanyik te sulae mungaret eng emoni.
We are here because we are here to support and ensure that each and every woman has an opportunity to run a business in a sustainable manner. So Absa Bank has sat down and spoken about, first and foremost, women in leadership. Then we said about women in business, because this is our journey. From an internal perspective, we are also showing up, making sure that women step up. And believe me, today we have more women in leadership than we've ever had before, women sitting on the board, making sure that we intentionally include women in every conversation that we have. We came up with the name Sultana deliberately. But in Arabic, it evokes strength, leadership, and dignity. And I thought that was really important for women. And that is exactly what this proposition represents, the power of women to lead, to inspire, and to shape communities and economies. Our brand purpose at Absa Bank speaks to empowering Africa's tomorrow, one story at a time. It embodies our commitment to innovate financial solutions that cater to all, despite age, religion. Through Sultana, we will provide women with the tailored Sharia-compliant financial solutions, capacity building, financial literacy opportunities, networks, platforms that connect women to the markets, mentors, and growth opportunities.
We were the first bank in Kenya, listed bank, to have a 50-50 diversity ratio at a board level. And I can tell you, it's, again, and I'm repeating this, it's time for women. Really glad. Sultana, the first in the market, dedicated specifically for women, is a proposition that I must say, really proud for us to be able to launch this. And a request to you, please embrace it. Please look at the proposition and share a lot of feedback in terms of how we can make it even better.
By choosing this name, Absa is not just branding a product, you are affirming a woman's rightful place at the center of the economy. It is catered to women who deserve finance that respects their values. We are talking about ambition with ethics. And that's why Sultana, blended with the Islamic principles, becomes a unique selling point for sustainability. This product bridges the worlds of faith, gender, finance, and development. It is proof that financial inclusion can be ethical, sustainable, and transformative. So I urge Absa to continue walking alongside women, not just as clients, but as partners. in creating communities and a nation that we will all be proud of. And to the women here today, Sultana is yours. Take it, own it, use it, and let it be a tool not just for survival, but for prosperity, for legacy and impact.
Mitei Cabinet Secretary nebo ripsetab kalyet eng emet orit Kipchumba Murkomen eng county nebo Nyandarua ole tesetai inendet ak tetutiet notok po jukwaa la usalama county nebo Nyandarua edition eng komasta notok po Olkalau. Ngegusti ngalalenyi.
Continue in society, it has led to, there is a level of cover in, acceptance, or, there's a great extent, I'm looking for the right word to use, but let me say that to a great extent it's because of society is compromised in terms of their values. Particularly when a woman is beaten or women are beaten, there are still people who believe that someone has a right to beat his wife. And also the cases also involve men. And I have told and I will be telling the chiefs and assistant chiefs, and I've told them elsewhere, these cases cannot be resolved using chiefs baraza. These are people to be arrested and taken to court of law. We must meet the highest punishment on them, and we encourage families to come out, particularly family members who are covering up for cases of defilements and incest. We must be able to bring them out, and that's a conversation we'll have with the chiefs. But also we need to invest as a society on mental health issues. There was a time that it was a taboo, and you felt ostracized when you spoke about your mental health challenges. People need to embrace the fact that the same way you can get flu, the same way you can get malaria, the same way you can get diabetes or any other disease, also mental health is a disease like any other disease, and it's important to seek for help, medical attention. And maybe that's an area also we will collaborate with the counties, because they have the medical facilities of last mile, to make sure that people are also, we create more awareness on mental health and deal with those issues. Any person who would like to have any rally, public baraza, as long as it's peaceful, the police will provide security. And it's important that they give the necessary notification. If they have given the notification, of course, we have absolute no issue with any person, any political party, any politician calling for a meeting. Just need them to notify the police, and they must ensure that their meeting is peaceful and does not lead to situations of disrupting the peace for others, or burning of property, or looting, or violence. The rest, with proper notification and commitment to observe peace, the police officers are always on standby to provide security for anybody who would like to exercise their freedoms under the Constitution in a peaceful manner. Yes, madam. Okay. Silibiwa kwa nini? Okay. Sorry, I wasn't aware about that. I'm told that, as you can hear, thieves broke into one of our offices and stole IDs. I've just whispered to the director, National Registration Bureau, and he has told me that he was aware about it, and there's an ongoing replacement for those IDs. And we want to ask anybody who will attempt to engage in identity theft or misuse of people's IDs, that you will face the very full force of the law. And therefore, it's important that if you find anybody's ID, return it to the person, or leave it to the nearest police station, or to the chief or an assistant chief. Don't attempt to misuse anybody's ID. Yeah. Yes, Minor. I will finish up with you.
The question is on yesterday's human rights activist presses in Nairobi. As you say, some of them have even claimed that on July 15, you're on record saying 1,500 young people had been arrested because of various charges, accusations of arson, and what kind of the violence. And they say they've been able to trace only 500 cases. And they're saying, where are the rest of the 1,500? And they also went ahead to say that they are missing persons, and also that some of the young people have been detained without legal representation.
First of all, let me say that for all persons who have been arrested, not all persons who are arrested are taken to court. Okay, some are arrested, they record their statement, and the investigations continue until such time that they will get now an order from the court to appear before it for purpose of taking plea. So if there is any person not accounted for between arrest and charging, probably that person was arrested, recorded their statement, and further investigation is going on. I'm happy that they are following up and they know the numbers of the people who are taken to court. We can also provide that information in good time as National Police Service if anybody needs it. And those who have been charged for various offenses, some theft, some shoplifting, some others are violence, some have been charged for terror, some have just for robbery, some, as I said, stealing. So depending on what you have found, the evidence we found against you, you will be charged for the offense that you committed or that we suspect that you committed. And all those people are free to get legal representation of their choice so that they can defend them in a court of law. If there is any person who is missing, there is a procedure for reporting missing persons, and that should be reported to the nearest police station so that the police officers can start investigations to find their whereabouts of any person who is missing. Otherwise, any person who is in police custody or who was arrested by the police can be accounted for. Their whereabouts can be accounted for, either that they were taken to court or they were released pending investigations until such time when we are ready to charge them, or if you don't find sufficient evidence perhaps, then they will be free to proceed with their own activities. Yeah, I think there was somebody else, the last one.
My name is Simon Gure, Noro TV Nyandarua. We've had concerns from members of the public and local leaders about shortage of police vehicles and also filling of positions for the recently gazetted administrative units, especially in Kinyago. What are you doing about it?
Yeah, well, thank you very much. The real sticky issue you will be hearing in the conversation is police vehicles, police strength, operationalization of administrative units, vehicles for the administrators and motorcycles. So that is really a full conversation that we are going to have today. But just to assure the members of the public that we are trying, first of all, we are seeking for budgetary allocation to operationalize the administrative units that were recently gazetted. And some of them are not too recent. Some were gazetted in 2017 and yet to be operationalized up to now. We are working together. This is a very sticking issue even for the members of parliament. The next supplementary budget, we could have additional resources, we should be able to operationalize a number of them. And two is that there is an ongoing procurement process for police vehicles and vehicles for administrators and also prisons officers. It's been ongoing. We hope that it can be closed in a month or two, actually by October, latest November, so that then we can start distributing these vehicles to serve wananchi in different parts. I'm glad that wananchi appreciate the services that police officers offer beyond just their call of duty. You know, a police car is not just